everybody? What's going on? It's a Daily Dose of Dave, episode 21. It is Monday, February 12th, and we are celebrating Movie Monday, our very first installment of this, where I'm going to either review, rate, tell you to avoid, or give you my top 5 list of a certain movie genre, and that's what we're going to do today. Obviously, me being the sports guy that I am, I want to give you my top 5 sports movies. Now, I know there's going to be people that look at this list and say, what about this movie? What about that movie? How can you leave this movie out? This one's an all-time classic, blah, 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 blah. This is according to me, okay? I mean, listen, everybody has their own opinions, which kind of leads me to segue into today's findings. A shout-out quick to the ones that support me, support this show, support my podcast, support me trying to build a brand here, because I know it can get tedious, and I know that you can probably see me pop up a lot more than usual. And that's because I'm trying to build. You know, not everybody can have a big moment in the sun where all of a sudden your social media jumps off the face of the earth because of a big moment. I'm trying to build. Last week was very important to me. It was very motivating and very uplifting to my social media following. And it was incredible. And I'm really grateful for everything that happened last week. But it's a new week, new goals, new things on the mind. So for those that are supporting me, thank you. And for those, again, I always shout out the naysayers. For those that are giving me, little ass backwards promotion and a little tagging me on Facebook with certain things, well, listen, I feel bad for you. I truly, truly do, because clearly your life is not as interesting as mine, and you are not enjoying your life as much as me. So you take the time out to either knock me, mock me, however you get your rocks off, by all means. I just thank you for the plug. I truly do. Like, when you mention me and my name comes out of your mouth, no press is bad press, right? So thank you. I thank the haters. Since it's 2018 and we're still saying haters, I thank those people as well. But today, getting right into it, my top 5 sports movies. Clearly, I'm a sports guy, so these are the genre of the movie that I love the most. We'll go from the bottom up. We'll start with number 5. Whether you think pro wrestling is a sport or not, we're going with Ready to Rumble, okay? David Arquette and company are in this movie. It is one of my favorite movies because clearly it's about pro wrestling. They use real-life characters like your Goldbergs and your Macho Mans and all the stars of WCW. I mean, Booker T's in it for like half a minute. Diamond Dallas Page, one of the most motivating people on the planet, which it's weird. You don't seem to make fun of Diamond Dallas Page when he's so motivational, inspirational. It's so weird. Kettle. Anyway, but Ready to Rumble is one of my favorites. Jimmy King is a legend. I have his shirt where it says Induct King because I truly think he deserves to be in some kind of pro wrestling Hall of Fame. A lot of people grew up watching him. They're inspired by his story, starting off in the trailer park and then just winding up winning $1 million by beating Diamond Dallas Page with the help of that freak Sting. So, anyway, number 4, Major League 2. See, Major League 1 is on my list, but it's obviously a little better than Major League 2. Major League 2, obviously, if it makes this list, it's definitely a top 5 of mine. They switched over Willie Mays Hayes. It went from Wesley Snipes to Omar Epps. Still like him, still like the whole shtick that he does, just being an over-the-top character. We're introduced to Jack Parkman in this sequel, which I heard his shimmy makes the women in Cleveland puke. So Harry Doyle, one of my favorites. He's obviously the play-by-play commentator for the Cleveland Indians, and Monty, obviously the color commentator. They make reference to that. I even use a clip of their movie in my intro to my podcast because he says, "Dynamite drop in, Monty. That broadcasting school's really paid off." I went to a broadcaster school, found it funny. Great movie. I love the fact that Omar Epps is making a movie with Jesse Ventura. It's really funny. If you haven't seen it, you're probably living under a rock. Here's a movie at number 3 that you might not have seen, and it flies under the radar a lot. Necessary Roughness with Scott Bakula or Bukala, or I don't remember how to say his name, but Sinbad's in it. Jason Bateman's in it. There's a lot of hidden gems in this movie. It's a football movie about a college football program that obviously they haven't won. Or actually, no, they've been very successful, but then they got busted in a booster club thing. So they have to replace all the players and have open tryouts. And this is where it brings in the worst of the worst athletes. One guy's a samurai. The quarterback, Paul Blake, who's played by Scott Bakula or Bakula. I think it's Bakula, who's played by him, is like a 40-year-old freshman. The movie's really entertaining from start to finish. Very, very funny, very underrated, and I feel like it doesn't get enough play on like your normal movie channels. For a month, it was going crazy. I saw a lot of it, but this time, lately, you just don't see it anymore. Number 2, Major League One, the original, only because it's the original of its kind. You know, you're talking a bad owner who hates the team, who wants to move the team, and just wants everybody gone, and they don't want them to succeed at all. Coach Lou Baker is their manager, and he's hilarious in his own right. And like I said, between Major League One and Major League Two, both are gems. I love them both, and I can pretty much recite word for word of these movies. But your number one movie on my all-time sports movies, and look, I know I'm missing The Program. I know I'm not. Rudy is not on my list. Yes, if there was a top 10, you probably got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row. Tin Cup, if you're a fan of golf. The Natural. I mean, if you want to go old school. But my number one favorite sports movie is Any Given Sunday. I think it dives deeper into any other football movie ever, as far as like behind the scenes, the media, typical stories, which kind of relates to real life. We all saw, if you're a Cowboy fan like myself, you saw Tony Romo get hurt. A new stud quarterback comes in, starts winning games. Tony Romo's better. He's healthy. He can come back in, but it never happens. He comes in for that one play against Philly in that year. But it's very similar to the story where you have, Cap Rooney as your quarterback, played by Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid, that's not right. Randy Quaid's uncle cousin Eddie, isn't it? Something Quaid. I think it might be Randy Quaid. I'm not sure. Anyway, he plays the quarterback. Steamin' Willie Beeman is played by Jamie Foxx. It's one of my favorite characters. A lot of NFL stars are in this movie. Lawrence Taylor, Ricky Waters, Terrell Owens. A lot of the coaches. Dan Dierdorf is in there. I'm pretty sure Johnny Unitas is in the movie. Al Pacino's speech, which honestly is one of my favorite speeches in any movie, really gives me chills. I memorized that as well. Matter of fact, when I first started wrestling, and Pat Buck, our trainer, said you had to memorize the speech and give it to us. So it was kind of like a practice for remembering lines. I gave the Any Given Sunday speech. This has been a Daily Dose of Dave. Like I said, thank you so much for all your support. Tomorrow we're going to feature a specific talent. We'll try to give a little nudge to where it belongs. And like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.